Welcome back. From all indications, the governorship election in Lagos State will be one to watch for. This as the candidates vying for the governorship position are out and about town on daily canvassing for votes. For the candidate of Labour Party, Ghadebo Rhodes Vivour, he says he's on a mission to recover the mortgage future of Lagos. He joins me in the studio. Thank you, Mr. Ghadebo.
Thank you for having me.
After so many calls.
I'm here.
No, you're here. Okay, so first, let's talk about politics before we go into governance.
Okay.
I want to get your thought on something first. Do you feel, before you left PDP, because I remember that I came to cover that particular primaries, do you feel betrayed by the agreement that what was heard by your party, your then party, that they were going to give you the governorship, this deputy governorship?
It's not even so much about that. I mean, there was an agreement and it was reneged on, right? So whether I feel betrayed or not is not really. There was an agreement and it was reneged on, and I must say for history that this was not. I was not excited to be deputy governor. I ran to be governorship candidate of the PDP and then governorship candidate of governor of Lagos. So it was something where you listen to your elders, you listen to leaders in the party, an agreement was made and it was broken, and I moved forward.
Do you feel after the emergence of Jide as Dr. Jide as the PDP flag bearer, do you feel going into 2023, now you are the flag bearer for Labour Party, do you feel any threats because you were of the same party before? Do you feel any threat from that part? No,
I cannot. There are friendships, there are relationships. Politics about trust, about friendships, about relationships. These are people that I know very well, right? And I'm also in a new party where I'm building those friendships and relationships. But the most important thing are the voters. The most important elements in all of this are the voters, the people. Who are the people behind? Who are the people that are going to come out and not be looking for money on the day of election? And those people are with us in Labour Party.
Let's talk about how you emerged as Labour Party candidate. And some have also said that you can for anybody to win Lagos, that means your party must be a very structured party. Even PDP, who have some sort of structure in Lagos, have not been able to win the governorship seat in Lagos in the last over 20 years. Do you think that your party can, upturn the over 20 years reign of APC in Lagos?
I believe my party is from the next government in Lagos State, and this is why. You see, structure is very important where there's voter apathy, because the party has to do a lot of work. The party also has to buy votes. That's really what the structure comes down to. The people that they give resources to buy votes or to intimidate people or things like that. When you have a situation where you have a lot of people... Well, I'm a politician. We all know what the reality is.
All right, so
when you have a lot of people that have not left politics to politicians, you have a lot of people that are coming out. They are mobilizing without being mobilized. You now have a situation where, as a party, your main structure is to absorb these people. And that's what we are doing. So I understand that structure is important when the game is just left to politicians, but we are creating a new politics. The people have created a new politics. They are carrying on, right? And they are engaged, they are woke. It's not a situation where you see voter apathy, like we had 16% or 17% of registered voters produced the candidates in the last election. That's not what's going to happen this time. We're going to find that at least 2 million new voters are going to come to the ballot in this next election. And where voter apathy does not exist, rigging and the regular things that they've been doing in the past will not have a place there in that election.
What's your top priority? Let's now go to governance. What's your top priority if indeed you are elected as a governor of Lagos State?
Well, the first thing would be to create Well, I guess the summary statement would be to make Lagos State the commercial capital of Africa.
But someone will tell you that Lagos is already commercial hub of Africa.
No, Lagos State
It's
currently
it's the fourth now, according to the statistics. It's
GDP.
the fourth
largest
economy.
GDP.
Yes, in Africa.
But Lagos State ranks lower than Kaduna in terms of ease of doing business. Ranks number 19. For a commercial capital, that's appalling. Lagos State could change the world, but it's stuck in traffic. You have people that are sitting there in 4 hours traffic every day. Imagine if, as a businessman in Lagos, you could have multiple meetings. Imagine how much more productive you'll be. Imagine how much higher our GDP will be if people could move things properly from the wharf to the selling point and back again without all that traffic. Lagos State is what it is currently because of the industrious, hard-working, innovative people that live here. Imagine if they had a city where they could flourish and were enabled. We'll be number 1. We have no business being number 5. And we've been at this number for so long. Also, for the last decade.
We're talking about Africa.
Yes. For the last decade, Lagos State has ranked the second worst livable city in the world. Right? In 1966, Lagos State was ranked one of the best cities in the world. So we've fallen we've fallen significantly. So for me, like I said, I think that sums it up best because it ties into the transportation infrastructure that we're going to deliver. It ties into government relationships with the people that they are serving in terms of transparency and accountability. It also ties into human capacity development and how much we invest in that, not just in education, but healthcare as well. And it ties into a decentralized development agenda for Lagos State. So all these things will allow for commerce to thrive and for people to be able to earn a better standard of living and a better quality of life.
Okay, so some people will say that Lagos are already doing the things that you talked about. It might not be at that optimal level, but some persons will say they're already doing it. So my question is, what will be the difference? The difference in what we currently have now if you are elected?
Yes.
Because you know why I said so? You talked about, doing the ease of business, you can have meetings. They will tell you technology has made it more easier. I can have my meetings on different platforms. I can be in the comfort of my house and have my business meeting. But I'm saying, what will be the difference from what we have currently now to what you are bringing on board?
Well, first, there will be efficiency and transparency. You see, this is extremely important because people don't realize how much as a state we lose because of lack of transparency and accountability. From 2000, when the governor then budgeted about 8 billion naira for roads and only did about 6.8 kilometers of road, the funds then, according to World Bank benchmark, could have done 98 kilometers of road. So for every bridge that we have and we clap, we could have had 4. So we are instilling transparency and accountability. We are opening up Lagos State accounts. The contracting, the project implementation, we are opening it up line by line items so that the people can see. But even more, you see, we're talking about Lagos. Lagos State does things, but Lagos State runs a government of tokenism, right? It's taking 23 years to do 16 kilometers of rail. But this government had a plan of 160 kilometers. Now, are we going to, if you do that kind of calculation, how many more years will it take to get 106 kilometers? But in this same Nigeria, they did 175 kilometers of rail, Lagos to Ibadan, for 1.2 billion. You already know controversy that the Chinese railway reported 100 and something million for it. Lagos State on its books is saying 1.2 billion. So transparency and accountability. So there are no controversies about how much money the state is allocating to projects and implementing these things. Also, we're not going to pay lip service to water transportation. We're going to make it the norm. We're going to dredge our waterways properly, create embankments, and bring back ferries. Proper ferries, not these small boats that are moving, that people are concerned about their safety using water transportation. And we're going to bring it into our community. I'm an architect, so I think of this thing in terms of systems. You cannot say you want people to use water transportation and you don't bring it into their everyday life. In the developments, in the design of the jetties, in the normalization of the ferries that you are bringing in. I mean, during Jack on this time, ferries were moving on Lagos waterways. And more than that, we are going to have a state that is accountable to its people, truly accountable. No, you're not going to be any controversy that this person is taking these monies out, right? All funds are going to be used to make the welfare of Lagosians much better, especially affordable housing, especially the transparency and accountability that will be endemic in that system, right? So people can transparently get multi-income housing. So the idea of it, what we're going to bring that's different is, because of the transparency and accountability we are bringing, we are going to be able to do projects much faster, and we are going to get Lagosians the best deal, because we'll benchmark all our projects to the World Bank benchmark. And our goal will be to do it even cheaper and set a benchmark of quality for the projects that we're also going to deliver.
You know, when you were talking about Lagos should have had a rail, you know, it took them almost like 16 years to do that. Don't forget, during Jakonde, they wanted to construct a rail. Yeah.
And then Buhari stopped
exactly.
it.
So it might not totally be their fault. So it takes a lot. I'm just saying it takes a lot to do that kind of heavy project. It takes a lot. But let me take you on this. What's your take on taxation in Lagos? Do you think that Lagosians are overtaxed?
I believe that we need to expand our tax bracket, our tax net, and I believe people must have direct incentives to the taxes that they pay. You must be able to say, I pay tax, and this is the direct benefit that I am getting. You see, Norway, Nordic countries pay almost 40% of their income on taxes, but they can see directly what they're getting. Healthcare insurance, access to, you know, affordable housing, a social welfare net. None of these things exist in Lagos, and that is one of the major problems. Also, there's still taxation, where you have multiple taxation on people in the markets. There's no direct benefit for it. In fact, you're even charged. They clean their market themselves. They provide all the things, all the amenities that they need for it themselves, but they're constantly paying monies that they cannot explain why they should be paying. And this is affecting everybody. The women in the markets in Lagos Island, the northerner that is selling metal scrap in Igomu, all over, everywhere. So people usually tend to do these markets are for just one group of people. Everybody is being affected. And you see, it reeks of not really caring about the welfare of these people and just extracting from them without creating an enabling environment for them to grow.
Security.
Yeah.
Security challenges are enormous, you know, in Lagos. I don't know if you were listening to my earlier guest when I talked about the fact that, you know, security in Lagos is something that is very paramount. Looking at different parts of Lagos where people have actually escalated that I was robbed at this particular point, I was done. What is going to be the difference into what you're bringing? Putting into consideration first, you don't control the apparatus of the police. So what is the innovation that you'll be bringing on board to make the changes of what we have in Lagos? Okay.
So first of all, the goal for my government in the first 4 years is to make Lagos City a 15-hour city, a city that runs 15 hours. By 8 years, to make it a 24-hour city. At that point, businesses will be able to truly thrive and truly benefit from being in Lagos. Now, to achieve this, security is the #1 issue to solve. Now, we have a situation where you have a lot of young people in Lagos State that I call state-backed. I don't want to use the word agberos because these people they don't really have an alternative means of earning a living because the state has put them in a certain situation and they're wasting their lives and are only useful during the political season to the people that back them. And I say this, I'm an architect, right? I do construction in a simple estate. You see some people just come and say that if we don't give them any money, there's going to be problems, right? And all my workers are down their tools. Why? Because if I don't pay, when they are leaving, they will attack them. But guess what? After monies are exchanged, these same people call Alausa to come and also try and shake me down. So there's a hand-in-hand state-backed relationship. This is a personal experience that I had. We need to change all of this. The Agbero system in Lagos has to go, right? We're going to work with them as stakeholders to give them employability skills, to get them refitted to be employed in a new industry. That's one of the main issues that we have in terms of security. And also, every community in Lagos State has an informal means by which they get information. If you get robbed in Ojora, there are certain people you call, go and see that phone or computer that got stolen from you. They'll bring it out, right? And you'll be forced either to buy it back or with a lot of begging, they'll give it back to you. But these informal networks exist. We're going to formalize these networks at the local government level. And that's why local government autonomy is so important. I do not know why for the life of me, State Assembly consistently votes against local government autonomy, because we need to have visionary local government chairmen, because the security at that level is then tantamount to the security of Lagos State as a whole. So we take these informal networks, consistently gather this information and log all this information that's going across the state, and then have an intelligent digital surveillance, ring of surveillance across the entire state. But this will be tied directly to the Commonwealth of Lagos vision that I have, which is a registered card. As long as you're an informal or formal taxpayer, you have the right to be part of the Commonwealth of Lagos. It gives you direct benefits to your taxes that you can tell. I have primary healthcare insurance because I pay my taxes. And then in that process of registration, your biodata will be collected, pictures will be taken from multiple angles, so that the intelligent camera gathering network will be able to place and be able to identify the different people. So these are the systems that allow for a more secure Lagos, right? But also we'll partner with the police. Lagos State has partnered with police, right? I've seen governors that have given them resources, giving them tools to be able to make their work more efficient. I will continue that, and I will also improve on those relationships, and also push for more people to be recruited into police force, for more people to be recruited into our own agencies in the state, and put the push on to push for state police.
Let me get back to this. Your own presidential candidate, Peter Obi, some say that's why you some. Some say it's on his popularity that you are gathering to run on the platform of Labour Party. How do you react to that?
Peter Obi is extremely popular. He's somebody that has built so much goodwill, and he's someone that I aspire to. He's somebody that I look up to, and you know, he has hacked this system of taking money out of politics. Peter Obi is not spending money, gathering rallies and everything. He's going to people and addressing people. He's attending debates. He's attending interviews, right? So he made himself popular not because he used one soap to wash his body. He made himself popular by going out to talk to people, like how I'm here sitting down with you, right? Going to meet people and engage with them. And that's something that I find very inspiring. You know, it's not about, I have all this money, so I'm going to buy my way into office. Or I have all these agbiros and all these networks, so I'm going to intimidate my way into office. He's coming, he's preaching love, he's preaching empathy. Every value that I hold, and I believe that the politician and the leader of Nigeria should be, in terms of the qualities, he embodies it. So if people are saying that I'm riding on that, I'm also working, I'm following his footsteps, right? If you say I'm a junior Peter Obi, I take that as a compliment, right? And it's something that I aspire to. He's a fantastic man, and I believe that as a leader, we need to bring love back into our politics. Abel Macaulay had love, Awolowo had love, Azikiwe had love. For somewhere along the line, I think after the military incursion, we lost it. We started getting rulers over us. We started thinking that it's okay to be oppressed, right? If a politician comes in here to say and does not have mopo and praise singers, you say he's not a serious politician. But why do you want somebody to be walking around with all of that, you know? So we need to restore that, and that's what Peter Obi embodies, and I think he's truly remarkable.
My last question to you is, what's your take on youth involved in politics? 2023 is just around the corner.
It is, and I feel that they've woken up. You saw what happened in 2020. I feel that voter apathy has gone out the way, and they are the ones that are affected by all of these things. They're affected by the loans that are taken. They're affected by bad governance, bad jobs, you know, all of that. So they need to be involved. They need to get involved, and I've been pushing this for a long time under our Lagos program. And I'm telling you, you're going to be very surprised how many youth are going to come out to vote in the next election.
All right, thank you very much. That is Rhodes Vivour, the Labour Party candidate for the governorship in Lagos State.